Up on Newswatch, Ohio GOP voters suing to get maps rejected twice by the Ohio Supreme Court approved.
The former police officer who fatally shot Dante Wright sentenced.
A police officer who's supposed to serve and protect took so much away from us.
And in sports, Ohio baseball kicks off their season in Spartansburg, South Carolina. Newswatch starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Olivia Roman.
And I'm Nick Veland. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. A group of Republican voters are suing in federal court to force the implementation of Ohio legislative maps. The Ohio Supreme Court rejected the maps twice already for being gerrymandered in favor of Republicans. GOP voters filed the lawsuit today after the Republican-led Ohio Redistricting Commission declared an impasse yesterday. They voted down maps proposed by Democratic members and adjourned without proposing their own. The lawsuit asked the rejected GOP maps to be implemented. The map drawing process driven by the 2020 census is intended for new districts to be in place by the 2022 primary on May 3rd. In Kentucky, redistricting efforts are also hitting a roadblock after a judge refused to block Republican-drawn congressional and state house maps. The ruling yesterday sets Democrats challenging the Republican-crafted boundaries shown here back. The ruling came from a Franklin County Circuit judge who says Democrats' request for a temporary injunction was filed too late. The candidate filing for deadline was late in January, and the judge says blocking the maps now would throw the election process in disarray. He said election officials have already spent considerable time in preparing for the primaries.
The Ohio State Fair is back after a 2-year hiatus. Governor Mike DeWine and Ohio Expo Center and State Fair General Manager Virgil Strickler announced the Ohio State Fair will run from July 27th to August 7th. This year's 167th State Fair staff is working on enhancements to make the fair safe. The first big name acts will be announced by the Ohio Expo Center and State Fair in a few weeks on Monday, March 7th, with additional announcements on March 21st and April 4th. To get notifications about acts and pre-sale tickets, go to ohiostatefair.com to sign up for their newsletter. Flooding has forced some residents in the Pittsburgh area out of their homes. The standing water is the result of heavy rain, snowmelt, and fluctuating temperatures. Yards and driveways along the river are completely submerged. Stilted homes are safe, but flooding has forced authorities to close many roads and Mon Wharf riverfront in downtown Pittsburgh. It is widespread among several counties in the region. The worst may be over for most residents, but the Ohio River is still under a flood advisory. Authorities say some residents could see water rise through Saturday evening. Henry, what can we expect in our region?
So the flooding that impacted our area yesterday, we still have some flood warnings in effect for most of Athens until 9 o'clock, but we do have flood warnings that were from Dayton all the way to New Lexington. That has now been canceled. The flood waters have now receded, but we still do have some roadways around Athens that are still covered with water. And tonight we're going to be seeing clear skies. Hopefully that flood warning will get canceled at 9. Temperatures right now up north is around 29, and towards the south we're at around 33 degrees, with Ironton at 34, and this cold weather is going to continue into tomorrow. And heading into my full weather later on, we're going to be seeing a chilly start to this weekend, but lots of sunshine. That's going to be really nice. But we do see the chance of rain return into next week. I'll have more on that in my full forecast coming up, but I'm going to be returning it back to Nick.
Thanks, Henry. Portsmouth police have arrested a suspect in connection with a bank robbery. Police say they've arrested Christopher Wilson and charged him with felony robbery. Police say Wilson robbed the U.S. Bank on Chillicothe Street in Portsmouth just before 1 p.m. yesterday. According to police reports, Wilson got away with around $2,900.
Employees at an Ohio Steel and Iron plant are outraged after the discovery of what appeared to be a noose at the plant. It was found on February 1st, the beginning of Black History Month. Bob Jones reports on how disturbed audiences view the incident as a sign of racial aggression.
looked at it at first and I was stunned of what I just seen, and I was like, wow, don't know what to do about this.
On February 1st, Marcus Murray started his shift on the shipping floor of United Rolls, where he has worked for 5 years. He was nearly floored by what he saw later that morning, a rope wrapped around a steel beam that he feels was tied as a noose and represented a painful past for African Americans.
Ancestors that was hung. Me being a black man, and for anyone to put that up was, it hurt.
Marcus told a coworker, Gary Edwards, who was also appalled. Both men said the rope in that form was not there before that day.
It's gotta be a delivery. I ain't never seen no noose hanging up since I started. Black History Month pops up, and now it's a big joke because people want to hang nooses.
My family, we come from slavery, a small town in Mississippi, so I know what that's about.
According to Marcus, 2 union reps were alerted and a supervisor ripped down the rope and tossed it in the trash, which also bothered Marcus.
It was a crime. It was it's a threat. That's the way we looked at it.
News 5 spoke to the general manager of the business, which manufactures steel and iron mill rolls. He said the company is in the middle of an investigation and added, "We worked diligently to get to the bottom of this. It very well could have been a noose. I'm not saying it wasn't. Of course, no one likes that if that's what it was."
To cut through the chase, it's injustice. It's injustice to happen anywhere, any place, at any time.
Hector McDaniel, president of the Stark County NAACP, also believes it was a noose and says the FBI is now involved.
We've contacted the FBI right away. They have assigned an agent to take a look at this case.
Bishop D.L. Evans, president of the Stark County Black Caucus, believes it could be a hate crime or a civil rights violation.
Justice needs to be served. They need to be held accountable from the top all the way down to the bottom.
The plant's GM says the union is cooperating with the company, trying to figure out what happened. Those disturbed by the pictures are hoping for sensitivity training at a minimum.
Everything's not taken care of. Everybody in there that's black haven't been spoken to about how they feel.
It's just pretty saddened that it's almost like a continuing story. Will we ever grow up?
United Steelworkers Local 3610 represents many of the plant employees, and the union is pushing for a complete investigation.
Former Minnesota police officer Kim Potter will serve time in jail for a fatal shooting of Dante Wright. And President Joe Biden prepares the U.S. for what he thinks is Russia's imminent invasion into Ukraine. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
In America, horses helped forge a new world. And that new world created unique horses. Shaped by land and work, but sustained by their connection to us. Each breed has its own story and legacy. These are American horses.
Remember I told you I was at college? Really, Mommy is in jail.
I was soccer mom. My life was my kids.
I miss this. The system is designed to be punitive, but it's about getting our lives restored.
You want me to go out there and explain to people that I have a felony, that I was a drug addict?
It's gonna be a struggle, but I'm ready.
Apart, Monday, February 21st at 10/9 Central on Independent Lens.
I would love to become a cyborg, to run faster, to jump higher, to do all kinds of things that we can't even imagine today.
Literally within minutes of having it all connected, it starts becoming part of me.
I believe the individual will be able to design their own physicality, will be able to sculpt their own identity.
Augmented on Nova.
With the end of the regular season, that can only mean one thing. It's tourney time. Everything every team has done is now set aside as all focus points to a state title. We will have all the action from each division from each team. And you can stay up to date by following our social media and tuning into WOUB Sunday nights at 11 and Monday nights at 6. From all of us at Hardwood Heroes, we're reminding you to be heroic.
A federal judge rules an Ohio sheriff deputy was not acting as a federal agent during the fatal shooting of a black man in Columbus. Columbus federal judge Edmund Sargis said Franklin County Deputy Jason Meade was not acting in his capacity as a deputized federal agent when fatally shooting Casey Goodson Jr. The ruling is a victory for prosecutors who want the case to remain in state court. Meade, who is white, was charged with murder and reckless homicide last year, following the fatal shooting of Goodson in December of 2022. Judge Sargis rejected arguments from Meade's attorney claiming Meade, being a member of a U.S. Marshal Service task force at the time of the shooting, should be tried in federal court. Meade has pleaded not guilty. Former Brooklyn Center, Minnesota police officer Kim Potter will spend time in jail. Potter, who has held she mistook her gun for a taser after she fatally shot Dante Wright at a traffic stop last April, was sentenced at a hearing earlier today. Chris Wynn has more on the emotional day.
In Minnesota, sentencing day in the case of former Brooklyn Center police officer Kimberly Potter.
It is the sentence and judgment of this court that you shall be committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a period of 24 months.
The defendant was found guilty in December of 2 counts of manslaughter. Potter, a 26-year police veteran, testified that she mistook her gun for her taser when she fatally shot Dante Wright, a 20-year-old black man, during a traffic stop last spring.
A police officer who was supposed to serve and protect took so much away from us. She took our baby boy with a single gunshot through his heart. She shattered mine.
During the hearing, Potter addressed Wright's family, asking for forgiveness.
I pray for Dante and all of you many times a day.
Wright's family previously asked the judge to hand down the maximum sentence, which he opted not to do, citing the uniqueness of the case.
She never intended to hurt anyone. Her conduct cries out for a sentence significantly below the guidelines.
Under Minnesota law, Potter is required to serve 2/3 of her sentence in prison. With good behavior, she'll be eligible for supervised release for the other third.
I walk out of this courthouse feeling like people are laughing at us because this lady got a slap on the wrist.
I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision. We have reason to believe that.
You are convinced that President Putin is going to invade Ukraine. Is that what you just said a few moments ago?
Yes, I did. Yes.
That warning coming from President Biden today during a press conference. It's a notable change in position for Biden, who has previously said he doesn't believe President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine. Biden said he hoped diplomacy would escalate the situation, but there are signs an invasion is a real possibility. A car bombing in the eastern city of Donetsk, a humanitarian convoy hit by shelling, and pro-Russian rebels ordering the evacuation of civilians from conflict zones all indicate Russian invasion is imminent. The Kremlin declared a massive nuclear drills to flex its military power. President Vladimir Putin pledged to protect Russia's national interests against what it sees as encroaching Western threats. All this as U.S. and European leaders seek ways to keep peace on Europe's post-Cold War security order.
So we have a coordination group working between our ministry and Red Cross and UN and other groups. We have the plan, which has already been approved, irrespective of various scenarios.
Earlier today, the White House announced it was blaming Russia for a cyber attack on Ukraine earlier this week. The announcement is unusually fast for the U.S. government, which officials have noticed Russia has benefited from late attributions in the past. Why an Omicron subvariant has some health experts concerned. That story still ahead.
A cold start is in store for us this weekend after seeing warm weather earlier this week. I'll have more on this in my full forecast coming up on Newswatch, but first a look at stocks of local interest.
America, horses helped forge a new world. And that new world created unique horses. Shaped by land and work, but sustained by their connection to us. Each breed has its own story and legacy. These are American horses.
With the end of the regular season, that can only mean one thing. It's tourney time. Everything every team has done is now set aside as all focus points to a state title. We will have all the action from each division from each team. And you can stay up to date by following our social media and tuning into WOUB Sunday nights at 11 and Monday nights at 6. From all of us at Hardwood Heroes, we're reminding you to be heroic.
Remember I told you I was at college? Really, Mommy is in jail.
I was soccer mom. My life was my kids.
I miss this.
The system is designed to be punitive, but it's about getting our lives restored.
You want me to go out there and explain to people that I have a felony, that I was a drug addict.
It's gonna be a struggle, but I'm ready.
Apart, Monday, February 21st at 10/9 Central on Independent Lens.
I would love to become a cyborg, to run faster, to jump higher, to do all kinds of things that we can't even imagine today.
Literally within minutes of having it all connected, it starts becoming part of me.
I believe the individual will be able to design their own physicality, will be able to sculpt their own identity.
Augmented on Nova.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm forecaster Henry Groff with a look at your weather for this weekend. And after seeing some heavy rain yesterday, we still have some flood warnings in effect for Athens. That has been extended till 9 p.m. tonight, and the flood warnings for around Dayton through New Lexington has now been canceled. And an update to the flood warning for Meigs County, that has been extended till 8:30. So looking at our weather for right now, we're going to be seeing a short, really weak warm front move through our area overnight tonight. That will increase clouds for early morning tomorrow. But we're going to be seeing this high pressure to the south start to move in and give us some clear skies for this weekend. Looking at tonight at around 8 p.m., we're going to be starting off at around 30 degrees. We're going to be quickly dropping down to around 26 by around midnight, and we'll start to see winds increase out from the southwest by around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And because of that, we're going to be seeing wind chills down to the teens with an actual temperature of around 23 degrees here in Athens tonight. And across the regions, temperatures will remain chilly down south with Ironton at around 28 degrees. Up north, we're going to be seeing Columbus at around 30 degrees along with Newark. But looking at tomorrow, high pressure now dominates our weather, and it's going to be sticking with us for this weekend. So expect really nice weather heading into even Monday. But for the morning, we're going to be seeing a few clouds here or there by around 8 a.m. and the temperatures will increase to around 31 degrees by noon. But we still expect winds to increase tomorrow, and we'll have winds out from the northwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour, which will give us a wind chill of around 27 degrees. Our actual temperature for tomorrow will hit up to around 35, but overall it's going to be looking really nice, and it's going to include the rest of the region where Columbus will stay around 30 degrees, but Ironton should be heading to around 40 degrees tomorrow, and the rest of the area will be seeing ample sunshine. And we'll continue to see ample sunshine into Sunday, where Ironton will get back up to the mid-50s. Here in Athens, we'll be at around 50 degrees, but Columbus will try to get up to 50 degrees, but for right now it's going to be around 48 degrees. And the weather is going to be looking really nice through Monday. We might be able to get up to around 60 degrees on Monday with sunny skies. But after Monday, the rain does return, and we do have rain all the way through Friday. Temperatures for Tuesday will be up to around 61 degrees, and on Wednesday we'll be back down to 53. Going to have to look out for Thursday and Friday, where we will be hovering around the freezing mark. So definitely stay tuned next week to Newswatch as we start to track in that rain for Thursday and Friday. But for now, I'm going to be handing it back to Nick.
Thanks, Henry. Just as several states lift COVID-19 mask mandates, there are still some new findings about a new subvariant of the Omicron variant called BA.2. The subvariant has already been detected in 47 states. Mandy Gaither has the rundown on how worried people should be.
A cousin of sorts to the Omicron variant could spread faster, may cause more severe disease, and could resist some of the weapons we now have to fight the coronavirus. The findings coming from new lab experiments in Japan released in a preprint study which hasn't been peer-reviewed. Researchers are calling this subvariant BA.2, and it's been on the World Health Organization's radar.
We are certainly watching this BA.2, this is the sublineage of Omicron, because it is showing some kind of level of transmission advantage.
It's been spotted in 74 countries and 47 U.S. states, and the subvariant has already become dominant in 10 of those 74 countries. The study also found BA.2 appears to escape immunity created by COVID-19 vaccines, but health experts say a booster restores protection, making illness after infection about 74% less likely.
We certainly don't want it to run rampant, just like we don't want Omicron to run rampant, and we really want countries to step up the vaccination to beat all these variants.
The new research comes as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations across the U.S. are coming way down, with several states, including California, lifting mask mandates and transitioning their COVID response to an endemic phase.
Moving away from a reactive mindset and a crisis mindset to living with this virus.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The preprint study out this week also found that BA.2 is resistant to some monoclonal antibody treatments currently being used against Omicrons. Now to Aiden with the sports.
Coming up in sports, Ohio baseball traveled to South Carolina for opening day. And Ohio men's basketball travels to Kent State for a big-time MAC matchup. That and more coming up on Newswatch. But be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming tonight on your public television station.
The vote is the most powerful tool we have in a democracy.
Here is somebody who walked into fire hoses and cattle prods and remained absolutely nonviolent.
I will not be satisfied until we end discrimination. Where is our moral leadership? Let us vote. We came here to do our job. You must find a way to get in the way and make our country a better place.
With the end of the regular season, that can only mean one thing. It's tourney time. Everything every team has done is now set aside as all focus points to a state title. We will have all the action from each division from each team. And you can stay up to date by following our social media and tuning into WOUB Sunday nights at 11 and Monday nights at 6. From all of us at Hardwood Heroes, we're reminding you to be heroic.
I question America. Is this America, the land of the free and the home of the brave?
An icon of civil rights history tells her own story in words and song.
And we've been down so long, we ain't got no other way to go but up.
And the polling thing is crying, Mama, Mama's gone.
Remember I told you I was at college? Really, Mommy is in jail.
I was soccer mom. My life was my kids.
I miss this. The system is designed to be punitive, but it's about getting our lives restored.
You want me to go out there and explain to people that I have a felony, that I was a drug addict?
It's gonna be a struggle, but I'm ready.
Apart, Monday, February 21st at 10/9 Central on Independent Lens.
Hello everybody, I'm Aiden Crowley. It's finally tournament time for high school basketball, and a big game tonight is between the Vinton County Vikings and the Sheridan Generals. Cole Patterson joins us live from Sheridan High School to tell us more about this matchup.
Tonight in hopes of claiming
11th-seeded Vinton County is taking on 6th-seeded Sheridan tonight in hopes of claiming the Division II Region 7 sectional final. The Vikings have a regular season conference record of 9-2, and although Alexander clinched the TVC Ohio with 2 conference losses, Vinton County can still clinch a share of this glory if they beat River Valley on Monday. Sheridan finished the regular season with a record of 16-6. Vinton County is entering this matchup with a slew of big-time players at their disposal. Seniors Eli Radabaugh and Braylon Damron have been the main scoring options for the Vikings this season. Vinton County was bounced out of the first round last season by Jackson in a heartbreaking OT loss. They'll be looking to change that tonight. The winner of this matchup will take on the winner of Gallia Academy and Miami Trace next Saturday. Reporting live from Sheridan High School, I'm Cole Patterson for Newswatch. Back to you, Aiden.
That will be an intriguing matchup to keep an eye on to see if the Vikings can pull off the upset. Thanks, Cole. And be sure to go to WOUB.org for the recap of this game and others around the TVC. If you're like me and are sick of the cold weather, we had our first taste of spring as the Bobcats hit the diamond. It's opening day for Ohio, who is in Spartansburg, South Carolina, for their matchup with USC Upstate. The Bobcats scored 3 runs in the 9th off 2 errors to take the season opener 9-6. Edward Cutt IV got the nod as the opening day starter and had a great performance for the Bobcats. Alex Finney knocked in the sole run for the Bobcats with an RBI double. The Bobcats will look to bounce back tomorrow at 2 p.m. in their second game of the 3-game set. Ohio men's basketball is also in action tonight at Kent State to take on the Golden Flashes. Kent State is rolling, winners of 7 straight, including an upset win over Toledo. The recent stretch has launched the Golden Rockets to 3rd in the conference. Kent State averages an impressive 78 points per game over the last 7 games, but the Bobcats can put up points in bunches too. Ohio scored 91 in the win against Miami thanks to a career day from Ben Vanderplas. BVP tattled a career-high 30 points in the contest. It will take an efficient shooting night for the Bobcats to sweep the Golden Flashes and maintain their spot in the top of the MAC. Tip tonight is set for 7 p.m. Ohio women's basketball is also on the road this weekend, heading to Bowling Green to take on the Falcons. The Bobcats have struggled as of late, dropping 5 of their last 6 games. Ohio, however, put up an impressive fight against the top-seeded Toledo Rockets their last time out. The Bobcats look to carry that momentum against Bowling Green, which is 1 spot ahead of Ohio in the conference. These games are vital down the stretch for the Bobcats. The top 8 teams make the MAC tournament, and Ohio is on the outside looking in at 9. Tip is set for 1 p.m. That's it for sports, and we're going to toss it to Henry with weather.
Thank you, Aiden. So looking at a final look at our weather for tonight. For tomorrow, we're going to be seeing weather at around 35 degrees, plenty of sunshine. We're going to have a wind out from the northwest at around 10 to 15 miles per hour, which will give us a wind chill of around 27 through the day. It's going to be really chilly across the region, with Columbus at around 30 degrees and Ironton at 39. But we do see temperatures quickly warm up for our Sunday with around 50 degrees. We do see the chance of rain return on Tuesday, with temperatures at around 61, and rain will remain through our area through Friday. And looking at Thursday and Friday, temperatures will be at around 30 degrees, so we will have to wait to see if we could expect any wintry mix for those 2 days. But that's it for weather here. I'm going to be handing it back to the desk.
Thank you, Henry. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Olivia Roman.
And for Henry Groff, Aiden Crowley, and Cole Patterson, I'm Nick Veland. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling. Stay warm this winter with energy-efficient TempStar heating. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC services and installation in the Athens area, featuring TempStar quality you can feel. Support comes from Hocking Valley Bank, offering mortgage loans,